Welcome to my gear guide for modern tech workers. I've prepared a mind map for us to go from level 1, oh shit, I actually got hired, to level 4, I dream of code, which I have actually done before. Now, all of these products I'm talking about have affiliate links. I'm very deliberate when I make a purchase. I try to only buy something if I know I'm going to get a lot of use out of it. I really like to use my things for a long time and get a lot of value out of them. So of course, I'm not trying to tell you that you need any of these things, but if you decide you want one of these products I'm about to talk about, and you're going to purchase it, then you can support my channel just by going to the video description and clicking the link first before you buy it. So let's start with level 1. Oh shit, I actually got hired. And the absolute basics you need are a solid monitor. I like monitors with a high pixel density, especially for programming, and a 27-inch monitor works just fine because you can just put it a little bit closer to your face, although I have a 32-inch monitor. A basic headset will go a long way towards professionalism and having a good presentation. I love using my mic on calls, but this would be a great thing to have when you're, especially like if you're in a coffee shop or something, you need something like this, a good headset that will isolate your sound and so you can actually hear the people on the other end well as well. And a decent chair. You're going to spend there's something like a quarter of your life maybe sitting in a chair, maybe more, maybe a third of your life. So I think it's worth getting a decent ergonomic chair and good ergonomic practices sitting in that chair. You can look up YouTube videos on that, will help you have better posture and just be healthier. So let me show you what these products look like on Amazon. Here's a monitor I found, and I like this Acer Nitro one. Great reviews. I would approve of that. This is the headset I mentioned, solid headset. I did research on all of these items. I actually picked items that I, actually recommend. Same with this chair. I was looking on Reddit and some people who are certified Reddit chair experts recommended this brand, among others. So you can look at this. I personally don't like the headrest, so I wouldn't want the headrest on mine, but it looks like with this chair, you can sort of just pop it out. Okay, next here is Level 2, I am a high performance machine. And so this is try hard mode at this point. And I love my split keyboard. So of course I'm going to recommend a split keyboard. And this is a pretty good one from Kinesis, I think. And it's cheap. It's like an introductory one. It does not have an ortholinear layout. So we'll see that on Amazon soon. Look at that a bit more. A good mouse. I used a shitty mouse for a long time, and then I got this mouse, and it was like a game changer, like how I could scroll with it. I use this side one sometimes, but maybe you'd use more features than me. But yeah, I love my good mouse. So this Logitech mouse is a good one, and a webcam. I like having a webcam because it helps me have more of a professional presence on calls. Yeah, probably this should have even been in the basics category. Here's that split keyboard. You can see how it's not ortholinear. So in other words, it has the same kind of offset of a regular keyboard. So it's going to be easier, like an easier introduction in that sense. And then there's this one you can buy with these lifters. I would definitely want to get the lifters one so you can tent it, because I can't even use my split keyboard if it's not tented. I think this is going to have a long-term benefit, this ergonomic one. And so this would be a good entry point in order to get into these split keyboards. Kinesis is a really good brand, right? It's not like a no-name brand. They're solid. This is my mouse I use. Now, one little thing is I bought the Mac version because I have a Mac, but I did some research, and the only difference between the Mac version and the PC version of this mouse is that with the PC version, you can only connect with Bluetooth with the Mac version, and with the PC version, you can connect with Bluetooth, or you can use the little dongle to connect. So I don't really get why you would not buy the PC version. I was just kind of scared and panicked and bought the Mac version at the last minute. But my actual recommendation to you is to get the Windows version. It should be fine with the Windows version on any operating system. And here's that webcam. You could go for the 720p one if you really want to cheap out. I'm sure that would be just fine. But you may as well get the 1080 because, I don't know, you buy one webcam and it should just last you forever, right? So just spend an extra $10 and get the 1080 one. That'd be my recommendation. Okay, next here, Gen Alpha Level 3. Literally started using an iPad at 3 months old. That's what we're competing with, guys. I don't know what generation you're from, but these guys were using a fucking iPad when they were 3 months old. So we have to do whatever we can to get on the Gen Alpha level. That's what I think. First thing, Pro mic headphones. This is I think it's called the MX50. We'll see it on Amazon soon from Audio Technica. And these things are sweet. Do they look cool? I don't know. I think they look pretty cool. Cooler than some, and they are pretty good at isolating noise. So even though maybe they're not noise canceling, but I find they're really good at isolating noise and sort of putting you in the zone. So basically I'm recommending these with a microphone attached, because then you can just like do your calls, and when your calls are done you can kind of spin it up. It would also be really good for gaming. So I would recommend this product here. Laptop stand. I have this thing too. This one's sweet, and it's really good for traveling. Okay, so it's all set up here, and you kind of rig it up like this, and you leave it on your desk. It works really well with the split keyboards, because you can kind of like place the keyboard in like below it, underneath it, which I really like. So I really thought quite hard about this, and it is expensive, so it did take me like a little while to pull the trigger on this, but I'm really glad I did. It's really sweet, and obviously the best feature is I have it set up, but like check this out. Okay. So you just slam it down and it becomes this little thing. It's a little heavy, like no problem for everyday use, but if you're traveling to other countries and doing a lot of travel, that might bother you. I travel like an absolute pack mule, and I don't mind carrying a lot of weight. so it is fairly heavy, but it's solid, right? Like it feels good. So I like that product. I recommend that. And then the blue blockers. I got these right here, these exact ones. Boom, these ones. I use them at night. I'll be like, oh shit, I'm coding at 10 p.m. Let's just throw these on. These ones are tinted a little yellow. Like they're not full-on blue blockers. These are kind of nice because they're kind of tame. So the TV show or the code or whatever you're like, for code, I wouldn't care. I probably want to get a second pair that's more tinted. But for TV, these are really nice because you can still kind of see the show in like the light that it was intended to be seen in, and I noticed like they definitely make me feel more sleepy. Like they have that effect of calming me down at night, which is nice. And then the last thing in this tier is a desk light. I have this big light. I really like my big light, especially if it's dark out or in the morning. I'll just put this thing on, and it's like a soft light. I don't want anything hard in my eyes. This one looked like it would be comparable for like a fraction of the cost of this big thing that I have here. So let's have a look at these products. All right, here's that headset that I talked about. This thing looks sweet. Like I want this thing. And it's USB powered, right? So you just plug it into the USB. I watched some videos. It looks like it works really well. People don't have too many problems with this, or like I didn't see any problems. People were like, oh, it just works, right? That's what I want. Like I just want it to work. And here's the Mac adapter. And this guy is the MX50. So they're the exact same headphones I bought. They're a little bit more of a premium model, but you get like a really good sound. I used these when I was making my music on Spotify. That's why I bought them, but they're like awesome. Sometimes I put them on and I'm like, oh my God, this is how music is meant to be heard. Like, this is great. Okay, whatever. Here's that laptop stand. It is expensive. Like, it's not going to be your cheap laptop stand, but it has great ratings. I think it's sick. I enjoy it. The only consideration is the weight. It is pretty heavy. Here's the glasses that I have. I wanted something with more of like a comfortable type glasses. They don't feel like shitty little plastic things, but they are light. Yeah, they're sweet. I'd recommend these. Maybe I should buy another pair before they stop making them. But again, they're kind of expensive. Oh, and here's that light. I don't think there's really anything to talk about here. I think having a light on the desk is sweet. If I didn't have this big one, I'd probably get something like this. It seems pretty versatile too. Okay, guys, we have reached level 4 tier. I dream of code. This gear will make you a 10x dev. Not the courses, not the experience, not the Google job. This gear that you can buy. You can do it overnight. Right, so a dynamic mic. That's what I have here. This is a dynamic mic. Here's a cheaper version, which I would recommend if you're not filming yourself. You just want a mic that's going to work really well, because if you buy mine, you have to buy this whole audio interface. It only does XML cable thing, XLR cable. But this one here I'm linking is just USB. And it's gonna be sick audio quality. It's great. It's a really good brand. And then you can get this little boom arm, so you could kind of prop it up, and send some studio headphones. So if you go this route, you don't need the little mic on your headphones, right? And then a better split keyboard. So if you're going to be a 10x dev, you can't be using the Kinesis Basic. You got to use something like the Kinesis Advantage with the ortholinear keys, some better ergonomic features. Now, my keyboard is the Moonlander, and it's also an ortholinear layout. And I have a whole video on this on YouTube. And yeah, I love my Moonlander. But if I could roll back the clock, rather than doing this whole customized Moonlander setup, I might have bought this Kinesis. The downside of this boy here is that it's really heavy. The upside is that actually you benefit from the lower configuration. So let me explain this with an analogy to programming. If I use, let's say I use Tmux, but I'm going to have all of these special Tmux key bindings because I use different ones than the default ones. And then I get so used to my own little custom Tmux key bindings that I log into some server at my new DevOps job in 5 years from now, and I don't know what's going on because they're using the default key bindings. So now I have to copy my configuration on there, but then that fucks up all the other engineers, and it just doesn't work. And I've put all this time into my own configuration rather than just learning the defaults. This to me is a little analogous to that because you can just pick up this keyboard and it has pretty sensible defaults that you can just learn and understand, and people love this keyboard. I did the opposite. I grabbed a Moonlander, which has, it's pretty unanimously decided the not very sensible defaults. People don't like it. And the whole point of these types of keyboards is to customize them, to have your type of setup. And I spent a lot of time customizing them, customizing this keyboard, and I love it, right? But anyway, you can do your own research about this because it's a big choice. But this is a sick keyboard. We'll talk about this on Amazon in just a second. A better chair. Like I said, you're going to sit in this thing for like a third of your life. So it's probably worth spending a bunch of money on one, right? This is a better one. We'll have a look at it. And a rug for your chair. Because you're going to slide around all over the place. Like, who wants to like slide around and be... you just need a rug under the chair or like a desk mat, I think. But a rug that's what I use. I just have a rug under here. It works great. And then a standing desk. So I have a standing desk, but it does this thing where... Yeah, so you gotta do that for like a minute. Okay, and it's a pretty big barrier. Like it's a pretty big barrier. So I would recommend a standing desk that's automatic, and then you will have a lower barrier to raising your desk, and you should raise it like every hour, say. Just keep going up and down throughout the day. You don't want to spend too long standing. You don't want to spend too long sitting. So standing desk is a definite 10x developer hack. And then I have saved the best for last, the 4K monitor. So this monitor is going to be very similar to my monitor that I have right now. A lot of people comment and just say like, what's your monitor? And I always tell them it's this Dell monitor, but this BenQ one is definitely comparable, maybe even better. So we'll have a look at that on Amazon. And I like the single 32-inch 4K monitor. You want, for me at least, it's just like one interface. I have many different desktops, so I can like slide through my different workstations, but I don't want two monitors beside each other with this like gap in between, and they're each kind of different resolutions and stuff. Like, no, I don't want anything like that. I want one sick monitor right in front of my face. And that's what this monitor is. So we'll get to that in a second. Let's go through this from the start. So here's that microphone I talked about, and the boom arm would be pretty cool because you could just kind of plant it in front of yourself if you don't want to get the whole stick thing like me. So yeah, this microphone's affordable and really nice. It's new. It's a newer microphone from Shure. Here's the keyboard, which I talked about for a long time, Advantage 360. And I watched a Prime video, and he doesn't really like the wireless one. He's like, just buy the wired one anyway. So that's what I would do if I bought this keyboard. I would buy the wired one, but I'm not going to. I'm committed to my Moonlander. But again, if I could roll back the clock, I might have bought this one instead. Here is a chair, which I approved of. You can also get it in all sorts of crazy colors. Yeah, it just looks good. I think this chair would work for me. Again, it doesn't have the headrest. I don't want a headrest on my chair. It has a lot of features. This back support is really key. You kind of need some lumbar going on here. So yeah, good chair is huge. This chair looks pretty good. Here is a carpet. That's it. It's just a carpet. Here is the standing desk. I liked this standing desk. I think this would be a good standing desk for the price. There's kind of this bar through the middle of it. That might bother me. But for the price, this looks really great. Also, it's electric. So anything with electric components, I don't know how long it's going to last anyway. So you could think, I don't know how long you're going to get out of this, but again, for the price, it's just like, this is just such an affordable price, you know? And obviously for me in Canada with the $200 shipping, this is not going to be an option. All right, here's the monitor. again, I did say best for last, and I think this is the best recommendation in here because this is going to change your life. If you're not using 4K, you can never go back once you get a 4K monitor. I guarantee you'll have a good time with this monitor pick here, if you like my setup. That takes us into the final tier. We are in level 5. This is the God mode tier. So you're already a 10x dev and you dream of code every night. Okay. This tier will take you into complete mastery. This tier, I cannot emphasize how important this tier is for going past the 10x developer phase. Like you've bought all this stuff that I told you to buy. And so now you're a 10x dev, which is great. And now you have the ability to go God mode simply by buying these 4 items that I'm about to talk about right now. So the first item is a rubber duck. And the reason you need a rubber duck is because you've got problems. You have the duck on the desk. When you have the problem, you can speak to the duck. You can explain it about your problems. You can ask for solutions. It's not going to tell you anything, but you will find your own solutions in simply explaining your problems to the duck and your ideas. The next idea, you are going to have decision paralysis in your life. There's going to be questions. Should I use Postgres? Should I use MySQL? Should I use Anthropic? Should I use OpenAI? So now you don't have to think about these problems anymore because you can use dice. And I literally have these. Okay, so here's my. You're like, okay, what do I do? I don't know if I should use Claude or OpenAI. Which one do I buy? Well, maybe, yeah, this is an 8-sided dice. Let's say 1 to 3, it's OpenAI, and 4 to 8, it's going to be Claude. And you can just roll your dice. It's a 4. I'm going with Claude on this. Done. Decision made. So that can help with that. That's a God mode move. Okay, nootropics. Here's some alpha GPC. I heard about this from Andrew Huberman, and I have not opened this, and I've had it for a year. It's like it's kind of like it enhances your focus and stuff like that, cognition. It's kind of like caffeine. So this will take you God mode for sure, although that is yet to be verified by myself. And this brings me to the final recommended product, which is mastic gum, and this is literally the sap from some tree in Greece that people have harvested and put in a small package for you in America or Canada or wherever you are in the world to consume. And why do you want to consume this tree sap? Well, you're going to have your alpha GPC. Okay. So you're going to be locked in. You're going to be in the zone. You're going to have your dice. So you are never going to have to make another decision in your entire life. And you're going to have your rubber duck so that you can have all your problems be heard, be finally heard. But even with all that, you are going to have to deal with your own inner rage, your anger at the way things are in the world, at politics, at the reason why Java is still a programming language that is in use in the year 2025. And so in order to get all this rage and channel it somewhere, you can chew this tree sap and have a natural way to strengthen your jaw, which is why this is on my radar, and also to just channel all of that energy into something productive. And be careful also if you do buy this gum, you be careful not to hurt yourself. Like, for real, read some comments and literally of anything I've suggested. Be careful with this gum. And in fact, also this alpha GPC, like I'm not recommending these products. These are jokes. If you didn't understand yet, this whole level 5 is a joke. But I am probably going to buy this mastic gum. So, oh yeah, so let's show these on Amazon. So we got the 15 pack of rubber ducks. You can talk to all sorts of different types. Maybe this weird pixelated one, if that's your style. So you get a whole bunch of ducks for like $1 on Amazon. We got some dice here. These dice look sweet. I'd probably go for these dice. This would be a good way to control my entire life, to just use dice to decide everything. Here's some alpha GPC. People love it. Helps the brain. I don't know. And here's the gum. I'm going to try this gum out myself. I would recommend looking through the reviews because there's some gold in here. Okay, let's zoom out on this boy. So here it is. That's my whole tech workers gear guide. I would like to emphasize that I will guarantee going from, oh shit, I actually got hired, to God mode dreams of code if you buy all of the shit in my list. So I think you should go for it. And in all seriousness, I hope you liked some of that stuff. There was some real stuff there. There was some jokes in there. I think it's all pretty important to staying sane and having fun with our jobs. These like little fun things that I get to buy and use for my job make it better. They really do. Anyway, if you're still watching, I would appreciate a like on this video and consider subscribing if you like my style, how I create these videos, because I'm doing a lot of these. I make one every week. Thank you for watching, and namaste.